the channel, we've got a big one. We've got my new roommate. We've got the Devourer of Worlds. We've got the Devourer of Wallets. We've got the Marvel Legends Haslab Galactus.
The spirit of Infinite Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends unboxing and review. And today we've got something extra special as the Haslab is shipped. The Haslab has arrived, and it is, of course, Galactus. Galactus, a giant figure, giant. And of course, we're going to compare him to last year's Sentinel, but Galactus stealing a lot of hearts around the Halloween season of 2022. And he arrived today. My FedEx guy rang my doorbell and ran back to his car. He was trying to get away. I don't know what was up with that, but I chased him down. I said, wait a minute, you come back here, take my signature. I'm getting this Galactus today, and that's exactly what we have here. The long await is nice. I got this thing finally in a reasonable time frame where the Sentinel seemed to take forever last year. This time came right away, so very happy to see that here. Now we're going to do this as best as we can. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do it just like we normally do. But obviously, this being so big, might be a little hard to do. So I did take some pictures of the box, stuff like that. We'll show that off. But this is a massive box, and I got to tell you guys, you got to make sure you save the boxes on this kind of thing. Because let's say, for whatever reason, 5 years from now, you said, Galactus, you know, you've been here long enough, you've been freeloading long enough, it's time for you to get your own place, and you put him up for eBay for a best offer or whatever, and you want to sell Galactus, you'll probably get a little bit more money out of him if you have your box and packaging and all that. So pro tip right there, save your packaging. Find a spot in your garage, a storage shed, whatever you got to do, but save the packaging. That's my recommendation there. Now, let's look at the packaging first. Then we'll look at the figures in the packaging. Then I'll get them all out of the packaging offline, and then we'll be off to the races from there. So more to come with this very video, but very cool. Hopefully you guys could see this. Marvel Legends series Haslab. I really like this. Number 2, 2022. Very comic book inspired, but of course it is the second Haslab. Now we know the third Haslab's got a little bit to go. Halloween, that is. And I think, unfortunately, the Ghost Rider will be dead on Halloween. So we'll back to the drawing board for next year's Haslab, I guess we'll call it. But cool packaging here. Look at that. You got Frankie Ray, you got Silver Surfer, you got Morg, you got the Hasbro logo, 14 and up. Very cool. We get the 3 heralds, of course, with Galactus. And then we get Galactus just ever looming. Look at that. Big, big, big. On the side, you get a little bit of action, nothing too fun there. And on the back, I feel it's not the funnest either. There's not a lot going on the back of this guy. Just kind of is what it is. But boy, this is a big, big box, as you can see. Probably about 3 feet tall, so it's a big one. It is a big one, but very cool artwork, very cool packaging on this. I really do like this a lot. So that's the packaging here. Now let me get the figures and Galactus, show you how the packaging looks. Alright, we got Galactus here out of the bigger box there, but this is truly an interesting one from the Marvel Haslab team, as they did the old trick that I used to do back in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's called the box inside of a box inside of a box inside of a box trick, and that's what they did. Big outer shipping container, littler shipping container inside of that box, then you get the Galactus box, then you get this. So a lot of protection with this, but that being said, I still had a little bit of a ding on the corner. It is what it is, but I think Hasbro did the best they could to protect Galactus on his long journey from China, or wherever he was actually manufactured. But this is how he comes, with the big styrofoam, all the pieces in there. Get a nice plastic cover over the front. Of course, big, big, heavy figure. This is very heavy, but you can see Galactus locked in there. And then you can see the 3 heralds off to the side. Now, I've seen some complaints from people. They were kind of a little disappointed that the heralds didn't come in their own Marvel Legends packaging. I guess I can understand that a little bit, but I'm okay. Being a big box set like this works for me, but I can see some people say, I want separate packaging for these kind of things. Much like the Mattel Creations, Doink, Diesel, and Macho Man Ultimate Editions that came with the ring, they were packed separately. We didn't get that with this, but for me, I'm okay with it. You may be different, but there's how this looks here. Now, I'm going to get this unwrapped, taken apart, all that fun stuff. We're going to look at the heralds. We're going to look at Galactus. We'll do some comparisons. We'll get all that done right here in this very video. So let me get him out of the package, and we'll be right back. All right, let's continue to work through Galactus, and let's start with his heralds. Obviously, the heralds give you the coming that, hey, Galactus is coming. So we'll do these guys first. We'll knock out the heralds. And I wanted to start with Morg because, I don't know, for me, Morg was the one I was the most excited about. He looks really good. He looks like a burnt peanut. Oh, a childhood staple. My dad ate a lot of burnt peanuts, So did I guess. I don't know. But he does look like a gigantic burnt peanut come to life, but very cool. Obviously, a little bit bigger figure. You guys know me. I'm biased. I love a big figure. That's why I'm going to love this Galactus, I'm sure. But let's walk through this Morg figure here. A character I'm not very familiar with, a later herald of Galactus somewhere along the way. But his articulation, his arms do go all the way around. He does got a bicep cut. He does got double jointed pinless elbows. I'm here for that all day long. Hands side to side. He just got this big old forearm guard with kind of some spikes on it. They do move out of the way very easily, but does look really cool. His head, of course, side to side, a little bit limited on the articulation because he's got that long skullet. This could be Hulk Hogan in another world. He's got that skullet going on, but nice grayish white hair, dirty wash to it, looking good. You do get waist articulation. You do get the big old Morg splits that he can do. He does have a thigh cut. Does have double jointed pinless knees, and he's got these big old boot covers here, all in a nice silver color, and then the ankle articulation that we are accustomed to as well. So he does have all of that. Like I said, a very, very burnt peanut rock formation type body on him. I love he's kind of got a smirking, smiling face and got just devilish red eyes, looking really, really cool. Looks good against the silver and the black pants. Just a fabulous looking figure. I was very excited for this, and it does not disappoint. Feels really good in my hands. It's not loose or anything like that. Just a very, very nice looking figure. I really like this. Even not knowing the character, I like it a whole lot. Now, we do get his axe as his weapon here, a nice axe, like something Ram Man might have in Masters of the Universe, but it's all silver to kind of match his outfit. And then you get the decoration, kind of the sculpt in there of the rib this. You get the sculpt in here, a little bit ribbed inside there. It is black painted there, and then silver again to break up the colors. But looks really good. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? We always do that test, you guys know. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Look at that. He fits perfectly on a ringside collectible stand, so I do like that. These two other heralds, they have little flight stands with them where he's kind of just left on his own. But really like the looks of this Morg figure. I'm very excited about this one. Happy to have him in the collection. Now let's turn our attention over to Frankie Ray here. And Frankie's got all kinds of hands going on. She does have two open hands on the figure. And then her other hands here, we get a fist, and two gripping hands. So as we always say, choose your own hand adventure. But we do get some extra hands with her. I don't know if they were really needed, but I guess it's a nice bonus there. Now, she does come with her own, I want to say flight stand, but of course Galactus can hold this stand, much like Silver Surfers we're going to see here in a second. But she will peg in here, or I guess there's no pegs on it. You'll just have to put her in there, and we'll get it for the glamour shots, of course. But it does look really nice flame effects throughout. The different colors of orange really make it look like fire, so very cool. And like I said, Galactus will hold this in his hand if you want him to do that. So we do have that. Then we get the figure, and the figure, boy, it feels heavy because of this hair, this big old flame effect hair going on. Really weighing, that probably weighs as much as the rest of the figure itself, if not more, just this hair piece. The hair piece does match down here, so that does look good. The hair matches the drapes or something. How's that go? Something like that. But it does look really good, but definitely makes this head very heavy and very much limited articulation on the head because of that. You can't get a whole lot going on anywhere. A very, very plain female body, but it does look really good. Of course, pinless joints, pinless knees, pinless elbows. All the typical Marvel Legends articulation here, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, always great on the female figures, but a very, very plain basic figure, but I guess that is the character. We've seen this body mold before. We'll see this a lot in the future, I would have to imagine, but she does look definitely really good. So there she is, another Herald of Galactus here, looking really good. I still prefer Morg over this one. I think Morg's going to take the top spot in my rankings between these three. But now we turn our attention to an old friend, a character many, many know, of course, the Silver Surfer. We're no stranger to Silver Surfer. He's had a few Marvel Legends that we all know about, and much like her, he does come with his own hands. He does get the old surfing with the alien Joe Satriani type hands. He's got two karate chopping surfing hands, and then he does have two open hands. And then Silver Surfer, guess what? He came to fight. He's got two Fists of Fury ready to go at a moment's notice, so he does have those. But he does look good. I mean, this is a Silver Surfer. I'm not going to be confused. I know who this is all day long. Now, this is an old Silver Surfer body mold. I really wish we could have got an update on this Silver Surfer, as it would have been nice to have the pinless knees, pinless elbows, much like these two over here. Let's have some uniformity. We didn't get that, unfortunately. Just feels like a little bit of a throw-in, and of course, he was part of the whole package, basically from the beginning, old Silver Surfer here. I do have a few more Silver Surfers. I got the old Walgreens exclusive. And that's the one it feels like. I mean, to me, this almost feels like an identical figure. It's obviously the exact same body. It is. It's just the head is different. The head is the difference between these two. So if you already have this Walgreens Silver Surfer, yeah, it is what it is. Now, that being said, this was a Walgreens exclusive many years ago, so a lot of new collectors, a lot of new people do not have this. I'm glad they made it at least a little bit different in the head sculpt arena. That does look good. Of course, we did get another Silver Surfer, and I believe, wasn't he also a Walgreens exclusive? I think if I'm correct, they were both Walgreens exclusive, which is kind of crazy. So it is nice to get a whole new Silver Surfer. But it basically is, so this is, it is the head from this one on the body of this one is basically what it is. Obviously the color changes here, but not a ton of newness with the Silver Surfer. Doesn't quite feel as fresh as the other two. I think that is a fair thing. But the Silver Surfer, the most famous Herald of Galactus, he had to be in this pack. So I guess it is what it is. They had to do it this way. He does come with some effect pieces, just like the first one we showed has the yellow one. We get that same effect piece, but we get it in purple, kind of the little cosmic action there. So we've seen this before as well. But the newness here is, of course, the stand. We do get his surfboard. Same surfboard we saw with these guys. Surfboard does lock into the stand. The stand can go into Galactus' hand. He can hold Silver Surfer. I think that is a really cool, nice touch. Love the purple effects here. Really cool how it matches with this. So if you have him on here, brings kind of all the color patterns together. I think that looks good. But between the three, Silver Surfer, probably the most disappointing of the bunch here. But him being in past lives, Walgreens exclusives, it's a way for everybody to get him. It works good with Galactus. Makes all the sense in the world. So Silver Surfer had to be in this pack. So I give it a little bit of a pass. Little wonky in the knee department too. So these two have much stronger bodies, much stronger articulation and so forth there. But if I'm going to rank them, Morg's number one, Surfer's last. That's just the way I'm going to do it here. So that's the figures. That's what we've seen here. Now we got to break it down. Now we got to get down to business. We got to get down to Galactus. All right, let's get down to the final business here. Let's get down to the old Devourer of Worlds. Let's get down to Galactus. Now, I tried to move my camera around a little bit, but he is a big, big boy. So I'm going to have to move him kind of up and down out of the picture. But absolutely massive, as you can imagine. We'll compare him here in a little bit to, of course, last year's Sentinel and a prior version of Galactus, so you can kind of see the height differences, as this guy is, like I said, absolutely massive and very, very cool. But let's start with some of the pieces he came with here today. And he did come with the Galactus Doom head. Apparently this is, I don't think it was a What If comic, but it was a story arc there where Doom kind of became Galactus. But it is a Doom head. I don't know of anybody that's going to really display this one. Was this that big of a thing that anybody would say, oh, off with the Galactus head, I'm all in on this Doom head? I don't think so. It is a cool throw-in piece, but I gotta be honest, I probably would have rather had another figure than this. Maybe that's just me, but it is cool enough. It is Dr. Doom. You see this, it's Dr. Doom in purple, so it is very cool, and we'll get some glamour shots of this head on there as well. But we did get that as one of the last tiers, maybe one of the last one or the second to last one, something like that. We do have Galactus with kind of just a resting mad face, because he's always angry, but he's always hungry as well, as we know. So we do have that resting kind of mad face. We do have an even madder face right here that we get with him, and it's really easy. You pop this head off, you just put your hand through there, pops these face plates out, you can put the new ones in. Choose your own Galactus adventure. Very, very cool. And then we do get this one that I really like, especially Halloween season, Skeleton Galactus, when he was or I guess I should say Zombie Galactus. If you have a zombie set up, you can have Galactus as a zombie. And man, that's a zombie I don't want to mess with. But a really cool wash on this one. Very dark, nice teeth, little brown, dirty teeth. Of course, the skull looking here. Very, very cool. So that's some of the pieces we get with Galactus. Of course, Galactus does take batteries. You need 4 AAA batteries, so make sure you have those handy. Of course, they do go in the back plate. It takes a little while to figure out. Very good of the Marvel Legends team, the Hasbro team, hiding where those batteries go. Sometimes those things stand out with screws and things. There's a little plate in the back of the neck. You pop off, you unscrew, you put the plate back on. All covered really good. And then the one I forgot about was the head. On the top, this headpiece pulls out. You unscrew it, put the batteries in, and you're off to the races. And you do get 2 different points of Galactus that light up. And I guess the first one is the chest cavity here. You push the button. Well, I guess it all lights up. There you go. You hit that, and you're off to the races. Very, very bright. I mean, you can see that light. Very, very bright. Looks really, really good. It will eventually turn off on its own, but you can do stuff like hold the buttons and it'll blink, things like that. You do get some light up in the ears. I guess we'll call these his ears. The eyes, of course, the beads up top, and then the one at the center chest. Looks really good. Always cool to get these kind of bells and whistles, and there really are to be expected with the big price points of these Haslab. You know, we saw it with the Sentinel, saw it with Galactus, the Haslab Ghost Rider car. Probably not going to happen as we know, but that has a lot of light up features as well. It's just part of the overall experience when you're paying big money for this guy. And of course, this guy was big money. He was about, wasn't he like $300? It's been so long. I think it was about $300 with shipping all in on him. It's very interesting. Of course, I think Hasbro said that if they had to do Galactus now, he'd probably be about $500. I don't doubt that with the way things are going. So we did kind of get a deal about a year ago for Galactus. It's kind of funny to think how much has changed just in the year we pre-ordered this Galactus figure. But let's pick him up. I'm going to put him up here on the table, and you're going to see he's going to tower right out of frame. This is a big, big boy. This is a monster. But I'm going to walk through his articulation. Maybe I'll sit him on my lap, like a young Santa Claus is what I am here. And of course, we remember last year I took the Sentinel to visit Santa Claus. Maybe Galactus needs to visit Santa. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But his arms do go. Now, everything on this is really tight. We know there was issues with the Sentinel back in the day. The ratchet's not holding in the knee. Very easy fix. So far, fingers crossed, so good. No loose joints on this guy for me. But his arms do go around now, very, very tight. You do get limited right here, but you can move it out of the way if you really needed to. So I'm not going to push it, but you can hear those ratchets. Very, very tight ratchets there. And then, of course, you get the bicep cut. Once again, very tight. You can hear me turning them. He does got double-jointed pinless elbows. How about that for Galactus? You do get a little forearm swivel, and then, of course, the hand back and forth. Now, much like the Sentinel, the hands got all kinds of points of articulation, like 20 points or whatever it is. The thumb, you got the digits can be moved and manipulated however you want. You can make him have a fist, open hand, flayed out hand. Do whatever you want. Choose your own hand adventure, as we always do say. He does got an ab crunch. You get a little bit forward, a little bit back, but of course Galactus, he's a monster. He's not like Spider-Man. He's not doing a bunch of flips and stuff, but you do have some of that. You do get a little side-to-side action, as you can see. Of course, the head is removable. Head side-to-side, back and forth. Not a lot of back and forth, but a lot of side-to-side. The faceplate is removable, as we talked about. We do get legs. Oh my gosh, big ratchets on these legs. You can do those big old Galactus splits that he's famous for. Very, very heavy. You do get a boot cut on him. You do get double-jointed pinless elbows. Sign me up for that as well. We do have that. And then, of course, the ankles. Very sturdy ankles. As you can see, I just let him go without moving. He did stay up. That's one thing you don't want. If you don't want him on top of a shelf, he's a guy that's probably good to stay to the ground, because if he takes the topple off the top of a case, things like that, you're in a bad place, that's for sure. But I can see people putting him inside of a D-Tolf. I don't know if I'm big on that. I mean, it's your case, do whatever you want, but he's going to take up a lot of real estate in your D-Tolf. I'm probably going to have him on the floor or maybe a short shelf. We'll see. I'll have it in my collector's tour one day. You guys will see that. Of course, the color variation here, it is Galactus. I see this color pattern. I know who this is all day long. You got the different colors of purple, kind of a bluish purple and then a really good purple. Looking really, really good there throughout. Just a very good coloring, and there's no mistake that this is Galactus. Just very, very cool, and a centerpiece of a collection, too. This is one of those things that is just an absolute centerpiece of a Marvel Legends collection. I gotta think, the Sentinel, I mean, let's take a step back. You talk about the Sentinel, that was an army builder. A lot of people bought multiple Sentinels. There's a lot more Sentinels that I could see people selling because, oh, I bought 3, maybe I only need 2. A lot of people, myself included, we only bought 1 Galactus, where I bought 3 Sentinels. 3? Yeah, 3. I bought 3 Sentinels, 1 Galactus. A lot of people are in that same boat. So I think Galactus is one that's going to hold his value pretty good. We do know there was the Toy Biz Build-A-Figure back in the day. That held its value for a long time. Got to think that has come down some with this new Galactus entering the arena. But man, at the end of the day, this is a centerpiece collection. That's what I'm going to say. I'm always worried he's going to fall down, but he is very, very resilient. But let's compare him to a Galactus. I believe this is the Marvel Universe version, the 3.75 version. So you can see this is the Galactus I have displayed with my Marvel Legends currently. Look at that. He fits on a shelf okay, and I'll probably leave him on there. There's always different Galactus scenes you can do. But look at that height different. Look at that size different. I mean, it's absolutely insanity how big of a difference we got between these two figures. Just absolutely cool. I mean, this could almost be his kid. You know, you take him around or whatever, put him in his backpack. It's little Galactus. It's the little menace Galactus off to the side, causing trouble. But very, very cool there. Of course, here's more. You can compare him against some of his heralds. We can see how that looks. You know, of course, he can hold these guys. We'll get some glamour shots for that. But these guys just are dwarfed by Galactus, and that's the way it should be. So I'm very happy to see that. But then the big one is, of course, the Sentinel. The big Sentinel. But look at that. Galactus towering over the Sentinel. How awesome is that? You put these guys both on here. Look at that. You can see that. About a head taller with Galactus than the Sentinel. That is something else. I never thought I'd see that. Now, scale-wise, I think all of us know that this isn't quite correct scale. It's Galactus. He devours planets. He eats planets like apples. He plays them like basketballs. So he should be a lot bigger than a Sentinel, but I think this does work, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that are displaying these guys in the same shelf, universe, whatever. This is more X-Men. This is more Fantastic Four, let's call it, or Avengers. But you can definitely see the differences between both these Haslabs, and both these Haslabs absolutely slam dunks. I think both of these were well worth the money. I'm very happy to have Galactus here. I'm glad it wasn't a crazy one like last year with the Sentinels. My shipping went all over the place. I felt like the last person in the absolute universe, no pun intended, to get my Sentinels, where Galactus definitely wasn't the first, but I wasn't at the end, so I was very happy to get Galactus at a decent time frame, But man, I'm here for this all day long and twice on Sunday. It is unfortunate. It seems like the Ghost Rider Haslab doesn't have a case. Back to the drawing board, and to me, for Haslabs, it's got to feel extra special. I feel like that car, they could figure out a way. That could be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. That could be an Amazon exclusive. Obviously, a higher price point. But I think they could have got away with that as a regular exclusive. I mean, that would fit on a shelf. I feel like the Haslab, it's got to be giant figures. And I know some people say, oh, we're sick of giant figures, but I think the majority of people, they would love a big Fing Fang Foom dragon like this. They would love a giant man. I'd love a big Apocalypse figure. But with that, we don't like the price point on that Haslab. You're probably not going to like the price point on what Galactus would be today if he was coming out. That's just the way it is in the world, and it's tough. It's tough when things go up. There's always that in-between time where sticker shock, and we're not used to new prices, not used to new retails. It takes some time to get used to, and I feel like we're right in there, and things don't seem to get any better anytime soon. But hopefully by next year, we'll get used to some of these sticker prices, and we can kind of move forward without all the arguments. But what am I saying? There's always arguments. There's always arguments to be had. We know that. But Galactus, I'm happy I backed. I'm sure the people that backed it are happy. You guys tell me in the comments. So what are your thoughts? Are you happy you backed Galactus? Was he everything you hoped he would be? Are you sad you missed out? Are you admiring from afar? Let me know your thoughts on old Galactus, and throw the Sentinel in as well. Why not? And I guess I could put the other Galactus right here in between. So it's this could be like a family portrait. This is their kid and the mom Sentinel, dad Galactus. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, like this video. Of course, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. You don't want to miss a video, as we got multiple videos every single day, and that notification bell is the best way to make sure you don't miss a video and know what's going on here on the old channel. And of course, the Patreon, even better than that, is you get early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, early access to videos, giveaways, Q&As. But best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget to follow me on social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Galactus, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.